Hey everybody, this is Ruben Lowen here in McAllen, Texas. This is my leadership talk for today. Friday, Sherrie Hughes-Smith. She is one of the trainers for Eric Lofholm International, and she filled in for Eric Lofholm on Friday. She's my trainer. And she told this story about a young man who wasn't real motivated playing football, and coach thought he was really lazy and a slug. And coach had a note for him, and he said, "Read the note." She said he was too lazy to read the note, and the coach read the note, and his father had passed. His father had died, and so that you don't worry about practice, don't worry about the games. Take it with all the time you need. And the kid's like, "No, I'm playing," and he kept pressing the coach, and the coach is a homecoming game, and coach was like, "No, man, I gotta have people that are going to be committed to this game." Well, they got behind. They got way behind. And he's like, "Fine, go ahead." And kid gets in. He's like super motivated. He's making blocks and tackles and interceptions, and he catches. Toward the end of the game, he catches a interception, runs in for a touchdown, and wins the game. And the coach is like, "What happened? What? You haven't done anything all year, and now you're a superstar. What happened? They carried you off. They carried him off. His team carried him off the field on their shoulders, and they said, 'My father died, and my father was blind.'" This is the first time he got to see me play. And she didn't know how that would affect me. My father was a farmer. And he was, my dad was so tight that he squeaked. My dad loved money. The mom used to complain about that. Dad was always pinching pennies and very tight. But I respected him for that, right? And I remember saying one time, I admired that in him. And he said, "Well, there's good debt and bad debt. There's bad debt's like credit cards. You pay the minimum payment, and it's too low to pay off all the interest. You pay on them forever. So there's good debt. If I have to make a decision on buying a piece of equipment like a tractor or a combine, I have to decide: is it smarter to work and save to buy that piece of equipment cash, or is inflation just going to keep it this far out of my reach? If that's the case, he'd finance that piece of equipment, put it to work, make more money, pay that loan off faster." He said, "You got to think of yourself as being the egg business, and your money's your chickens. You don't want to eat your chickens." And when I was working for the Educational Finance Group, that was how I had to get people to get past the interest. I say, if you get a 7%, 10% return, and you could have done it back then, 10% return on an account, you put that money in there, finance of your Johnny's college, put that money away in an interest-bearing account. In 7 years, you got enough money. You replace your money. You can pay that debt off, and you've got your principal. You didn't lose anything, right? And then I'd say, you sign, fill in this application. The money's there if you need it. If you find a better way, great, right? But if not, it's going to be there, okay? And this is just a safety net for you. So that helped me be successful there, okay? And it helped me in my mortgage business and all those things. And I remember when I got my first 401k, I told my dad about it. He goes, it was the top of the .com, and I'm like, I'm not going to invest in QQQ or NASDAQ stocks. I put my money in Disney, Walmart, and Home Depot. And he goes, "Okay, Walmart's good. There's great prices. People go to shop there, especially if there's a recession." He said, "Home Depot's good. People will always be fixing their houses up. When they get whether a new house or they're going to sell their house, they're always going to be fixing their houses up. But your real buy is Disney." He said, "The Asians are highly vested in entertainment stocks. Now their economy's hit the skids, and they're unloading that. So that's on sale. That was a good buy." I'm like, Dad, you got cable? Are you watching Bloomberg? How do you know this? She says, oh, I read the financial news every day. I gotta know if Russia's buying or selling. Do I need to grow corn or do I need to grow wheat? You know, what I just told you, I read that in Mechanics Illustrated. Okay. And then whenever I hear a joke, I'd call and tell my dad a joke. And I heard this joke that captured his personality, you know. There was a sheriff got a report of illegally grown marijuana on this guy's farm. So he goes and knocks on their farmer's door, and the farmer comes to the door and says, hey, you know, I've got a report that there's marijuana being grown on your property. And the farmer's like, yeah, sure, come on in. You know, but stay out of the back 40. And the sheriff pulls up his badge and says, see this badge? This gives me the authority of this county to do whatever I have to do and go wherever I need to do to investigate a crime. And the farmer's like, okay, fine, whatever. After a little while, the farmer hears the sheriff yelling. He stops what he's doing, runs to the fence, and sees his prize bull chasing the sheriff. And he jumps on the fence. He goes, show him your badge! Show him your flipping badge! And my dad started laughing, and he started coughing. And my dad's like, oh man, I think I got pneumonia. I feel like I'm gonna die. And I'm gonna go to the doctor tomorrow. And that was a Friday. And my sister called me on Monday and told me my dad had died, or he was in a coma. And he had H1N1. And he was in the coma for about 3 weeks, and he came out of the coma. I'm like, yes, he made it. And then they put him a tracheotomy in, and they put him in the nursing home. And we're thinking, yeah, he beat it, tough old bird. And then that next Monday, my sister called me. She was a nurse, and told me that my dad had died. He got a staph infection called Pseudomonas. It got into his tracheotomy and shut down his liver and his kidneys in 3 days. And I went to his funeral, and when I came back, my wife was from Pensacola. We were living in San Diego, and she was going home, going to Florida. She said she was connecting with her college roommate she'd reconnected with on Facebook. And my oldest son was already in Pensacola training in boxing with Roy Jones Sr., and it was just me and my youngest son at home. And he was 11. He was pretty self-sufficient, to take care of himself. So I went at 4 appointments a day, 10 days in a row. I only wrote business with 3 families. It was 6 pieces of business: husband, wife, husband, wife, husband, wife. It was 66,000 points. I got my first half commission in 4 days with $9,000. And I did it because my dad loved it that I was in this business. And I can relate to her story. You know, having that somebody that you really respect and you really care about, that you want to be valued in their eyes, and it can make all the difference. It can make all the difference in your business. And I'm continually trying to find that catalyst that gets me there again. It's taken a long time back, because right after that, my wife left me, and she told me she wanted a divorce, like right after, and then I had an emotional breakdown. I didn't see it coming. Didn't think that would ever happen, and it took me a long time to get it back. And I'm on the verge of getting it back right now. Right, I've got my plan. My strategy, and it's just working it. All right. So, it's having that being able to be that person for that person that you respect, like your father, that can make it happen for you. And it's being that for other people. It's being that person that, for whatever reason, they respect enough to do what it takes to um, impress you or get your respect. And so it's with what we do. It's not just a self motivation. We have to motivate others. And I really appreciate Sherrie Hughes-Smith for her story. Have a great day.